What is up, guys? My name is Mitch or Deity, and today we're going to be starting another new player guide for Epic 7. So those of you guys that have never tried the game, or maybe you tried it in the past and your account just became to a point where you didn't know what to do, that's the point of these guides. They will walk you through step by step into getting your account stabilized, and then from there you at least have the foundation to build off of. So these videos are very long. Usually it's about a 10 to 15 part guide. My goal with the guide is just to get you into the game with the minimum amount of resources spent to clear all the normal PvE content, and then from there you can take your account to wherever you want to go, whether you want to be a casual player, a hardcore PvP player, whichever way you decide. At least you have the foundation of your account built by following these videos. Again, they will be long, and there's a lot of stuff in each video, but it gives you like a play along, so those of you guys that whenever you're playing, it feels like you have someone to play with. Now, getting into the game, there is a new PC client out. So with the PC client, I will have a download link in the description. You can download it. It's really nice. You can play the game on PC now without using an emulator. That is new to this year. But in terms of this guide versus the last guide I made, there are quite a few changes. So there's a lot of changes, actually. It's going to kind of change the progression of everything. But overall, if you followed the old guides, you're probably fine. But if you want to make a new account and play along, feel free to. Now, in terms of the server, I would highly suggest global server is the most populated. But it just, the only difference between the servers is really going to be the reset times of the server. So other than that, it doesn't really matter which server you pick. Maybe if you have some friends who are playing the game, just play the same server that they are and you'll be fine. So going into, I'm going to go ahead and skip the story, but if any of you guys are new to channel or you are going to follow along with this guide series, if you'd be willing to subscribe. I've never asked for that in my guides before, 3 years of doing this, but I'm getting close to 30,000. So if any of you guys would help me get that number, it would be awesome. Or if I already hit 30,000, we go higher, that'd be cool. But let's I usually don't ask, it's awkward, but with the guide, I will have it broken into parts. So it's going to be part 1, part 2, obviously, and then what's going to be covered in that. I'm going to have some additional videos on the side going over what characters are good, like some tier lists and things like that. And then this time I would like to break down and get like individual videos for certain segments that maybe people glossed over or want, like things that I think need a second look that people maybe didn't quite get it on the first time I explain it here. So it's going to be like your selective summons and like different characters, why they're good as to what we're getting. So Epic 7, one big thing with the game, it's very free to play friendly. Those of you guys that worry about starting a game late, this game has the best, in my opinion, honeymoon phase of any video game, any gacha game at least. Every single, that's part of why I do this, is every single new account is really fun, getting different characters, trying out different combinations of things. I've played so many accounts at this point, you guys have no idea, just helping people get into the game, and sometimes just doing it for fun, just because I love the beginning of the game and trying to get, for me, into PvP, utilizing different characters. I will tell you right now, this game, the PvE is extremely easy, and once you beat it, there's not a whole lot to do besides farm for PvP or just kind of character collect. So if you are not going to be into this game for PvP, probably want to just, I don't know, if you want to just play it for PvE, you can. The characters are cool, everything's cool about it, but for me, I don't know what I'd do on this game if there was only PvE. If that's the whole reason I was playing, I would suggest another gacha game. That's just my personal take. Other people would disagree with that, so just know that's my mindset going in. I actually play Raid Shadow Legends for PvE because it's basically the exact same as this game, and I like it more. But for PvP, this is by far the winner. The Epic 7 PvP is amazing. For being a low spender, it's amazing. At least you don't even have to spend money. You could be free to play and perform very, very well. Everything about Epic 7 is about the playtime that you put in, like the amount of days you played. As long as you keep playing more and more days, your account will eventually reach a plateau point where all the other spender accounts have, and you will be fine. You'll be able to compete really well. The hardest part is getting all the characters, but they give out so many characters in this game. There's so many chances for free 5 stars. They have so many summon events. I think there's one going on right now. Whenever you start, though, don't worry about did I start at the right time, because the right time to start Epic 7 is whatever day you want, or whatever day you first hear about it and think you should start. The more time you have on your account, the better off you're going to be. Okay, so the first day getting into the game, you're going to have these buffs. These buffs last for 30 days. It looks like I started this account, or like opened the game a little early and it registered that I had an account. So you will have 30 days for all this, but it's fine. This will be a 15-day guide, so I don't have to have this full time. But you will have all these buffs. These buffs are pretty important to take advantage of, and we will go over what all things you can do with these. But for right now, just ignore that. And the first thing I want you to do is follow through this tutorial. Okay, so it's going to be this guide will be a step-by-step breakdown. I'm going to give you little goals to do. Once you accomplish those goals, you'll come back to the video. Like, say you pause the video, then come back, and then you will see what I tell you to do next, and then come back again. So they're not structured super well, I know, but these videos, there's so much I want to cover, and if I try to do editing and things like that, it would take me forever to make these videos, and the videos, I don't know, it's not really worth it. These always do fine, so you get to see the real unedited version of me. All right, so go ahead, clear up to stage 1-4 through the story. You can read the story if you want, and with these guides, they're going to be parts, so just play to your own pace. You don't have to do these like day by day. I'm going to be uploading them day by day, but take your time, play the game. It's a video game. It's here for you to enjoy. It's what you're going to spend your free time doing. So if you're not enjoying the free time you are spending trying to rush through things, just slow it down. Take your time. There's no rush with this. Okay, but go ahead and clear up to stage 1-4, and then it will kick you back to the main lobby to do a selective summon. Once it does that, I will continue the guide. So I'll be right back. Okay, so once you have beaten stage 1-4, you are going to end up at a spot where it has a selective summon. So with the selective summon, we have changed this multiple times as to which character, because it doesn't really matter. I'll be honest, your selective summon, it's not a big deal. If whoever you picked is who you picked, the easiest way to go through the game, if you want to follow along with me, is going to be your... All right, well, first you got to do your basic summon. This will always be a 3-star character. So... just go ahead and do this. Then we'll go over and do the selective summon. So the thing with selective summon is don't worry who you pick. It's not a big deal. Most of all the characters you pick are for like late game PvP, and most of them are power crept to this point. They're not really usable. One thing with Epic 7 is they are constantly doing buffs in to characters. So one character that you pull right now may look terrible, but in 6 months from now, that may be the strongest character in the game. It happens all the time. So no matter what character you get, as you're summoning going through the game, do not worry about it. It's going to be, there's a chance that that character ends up going crazy. So this is selective summon. This is a way you could choose a 5-star character to start the game with. So the way this works is it's always going to be 2 4-star artifacts, 2 4-star characters, and then you're going to have a 5-star artifact or character. No, you cannot get 2 of the artifacts. You cannot get a character and an artifact of 5-star. It's 1 5-star only. So it's either going to be a 5-star character or a 5-star artifact. And then you're going to have 2 4-stars guaranteed of both artifacts and characters. Now, the character that we are going to take from this is going to be Destina. Okay, Destina is by far just the easiest way to go through the game. It gives you a healer up until we get Tamarin for free. But if you did take another character, you'll probably be fine. Just you'll have to follow along, and you may struggle for a couple days until you get, there's a character we get for free called Tamarin. Once you get that character Tamarin, it's going to make your life way easier just for all PvE content. So the reason we're getting Destina though is she is a like substitute healer up until that point, and she's really good for your early game Guild Wars, which is a type of PvP, and just any kind of PvP in the game. So just go ahead and you keep doing this, and the way it works is you can just keep summoning again infinitely. There is no re-rolling that you have to do. So you just go and keep doing this. As you see, I got a 5-star artifact there. So we just keep going till we get the character Destina. So I will probably pause the video here, and I'll come back and then show Destina. Now, in terms of 4-star artifacts, the best one you can get is Tagahel's or Aureus. Those two are just the number one. There's a couple other like Wondrous Potion Vial, but I wouldn't worry too hard with this. Or too much with this. It's going to be fine whatever you get. Your selective summon is not a big deal going through the game. So I'll be back once we get a Destina, and I will show you what I'm going to keep. Okay, we have gotten our Destina. So this is what Destina looks like. She's a 5-star Soul Weaver, and she's grass. So she has a revive in her kit. There are very few characters with revives in their kits that aren't Moonlight 5s. Moonlight 5s are the like neutral element, super rare characters of the game. They're mostly all designed for PvP, or that is what they're designed for, but some can be used in PvE. But in terms of none of those super rare characters, there are very few that can revive a dead character. There's some that give revive buff, but this is just a super solid character to take for new accounts, and probably always will be. So no matter what, when you're watching this, if you take her, it's probably going to be a good thing. So with going with this, as you said, or as you see, I said a couple 4-star artifacts. I'm not going to worry about going and re-rolling to take those. If you want to, you can try to get a Destina with an Aureus. To do that, you can click record summon results. So when you get Destina, and you can keep going from there, and then you take the one you like the most. So right here, this Wondrous Potion Vial is a good artifact. if I wanted to take that with Destina, but it's not really a big deal either way. So I'm just going to click confirm, and it lets you pick between your current summon or the one you have saved. I'm going to go ahead and take the one I had saved because it has Destina. So go ahead and do that. And then it tells you cannot do anymore. And then one thing with Epic 7, like I said, there's always summon events going on within the game. So with the summon events, right now there's a summon event. So anytime there's a summon event, just rip your summons. And we got a 5-star to start with. Looks like a 5-star artifact. Yep. So with these, you'll get some random summons here or there, and then you'll have your summons that you do with what you choose. So just the longer you play the game, this is why I always say the better day to start the game is probably right whatever day you hear about it, because as you see, you get more summons. So your account will progress more. The thing with getting too many characters in the game, though, I got 2 5-star artifacts. Okay. Getting too many characters in the game can kind of hurt you, though, because a lot of people, they try to build a million different things right away. And the hardest part of Epic 7 is the gearing. I do have some gear guides now that seem to have helped pretty well. So hopefully maybe one of the reasons you guys quit in the past was the gearing was really hard. And hopefully that's going to be fixed. I hopefully explained it well enough in that other guide you can follow. If not, I'll try to make maybe some other kind of guide for it. You guys will have to let me know what kind of videos you are needing. Now with the selective summon, if you already did take another character, I am doing a separate video for it. And if you want to go look, I am going to have them, all the characters in a tier list. You can see what I talk about. I'm going to talk about each one, and you can see if it's good or not. So now that you've done that, the next goal that we are going to do is look at this Adventurer's Path. So Adventurer's Path is going to be what you are focusing on 90% of the time when you're clearing through the beginning of the game. You want to make sure you do each of these missions. So right now I have open a gold chest and an adventure. So I need to make sure I'm watching for chests. This will just automatically go. And what I want you to do from here is take these characters that we've just put in, and we're going to go ahead and clear up to stage, or get to stage 1-7. And that creates the opportunity to do 2x speed on your battles, and you can do auto battle, so you don't have to click your skills. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that point, and I'll come back, and hopefully we can open a gold chest in the first couple of missions so I can show the rest of the missions, but I will be back in just a second. All right, so now once you have gotten to stage 1-7 and start the stage, you see these buttons at the top. You are going to click the 2x speed. That's what this button is. It allows you to go twice as fast. And you click the auto button. The auto button will make it to where it just battles for you. You're going to use this auto feature for everything. You will have to manual a couple stages here and there, but with following the guide and seeing the characters that I show you, almost the entire game will be on auto, which is not the most fun for some people, but at least you'll have the feeling of progression. That is one thing. Epic 7 early progression, you have constant feeling of progression. So just know most of this game is done with auto battle. And now if you want to manual it, you can, but the auto battle, you're going to be very appreciative that it exists. So that is something that is kind of newer to the game in terms of the 2x speed. The auto battle's always been there, but there's a lot of quality of life changes if you guys have played Epic 7 in the past. 6-starring characters is unbelievably easy now. They've done a million quality of life things that are amazing for the game. So you'll see those as we keep going, but maybe if that was a reason you quit in the past, was it took too long to do certain things. Everything in this game has been simplified to the extreme. So just know that there is some things to look forward to. Okay, so now we have finished this though. I'm going to skip all the story again. Read the story if you want. Supposedly it's good. I've played a million Epic 7 accounts and never read the story, so I have no idea. That's kind of become a meme thing, is I've never read the story. I'm not a story guy for video games. If I was going to watch a story, I would go watch a movie. That's my opinion on it, but that is just how I do everything. So we did just get a new character. She's going to be in our waiting room. Where's Mercedes? We're going to sort by grade. There she is. So once you get Mercedes, go ahead and throw her on your team. And your 4th character for right now doesn't matter who you put. We're going to be changing almost all these characters. So just go ahead and make your team look something like this. And then I want you to go get further in your Adventure's Path. So with the Adventure Path, you see we had to open a gold chest. Now we have to equip a hero with equipment. So we're going to go ahead and go in. And go ahead, and if you wait on any of these, you can click skip tutorial. If you give it a second, it'll have that pop up. And then now we have the HP gear. We're going to go ahead and throw that on our Destina real quick. And now that that's done, we'll go ahead and go back out, and then we claim this. And now we have to upgrade a piece of gear to +3. So we'll go in, and then we'll boost up the piece that we just put on Destina to +3. Okay, and now that that is +3, Okay, well, I put the wrong one on her, but it's fine. So the game does have gear removal costs, but for new players, you don't have any for the first 30 days, which is really nice. So the next thing we need to do is clear stage 1-10 adventure. Your gear, nothing matters at this point. It doesn't matter for actually quite a while. So just go ahead and clear up to stage 1-10 with this team here. And if you want to put something else in for Aether, you can, but if you want to just follow exactly like I'm doing, that is one thing, is you guys are free to make your own decisions as to what characters you are using. But if you start struggling, you'll understand why I use the characters I did. Almost every character I have you work on in this guide and use is going to have multiple use cases. And if you follow along and get all those characters built up, almost all of your account, you'll have everything you need for each role for clearing all PvE things. And then from there, you work on the characters you want is the ideal thing. But obviously, you guys are going to pull characters. You're going to wonder, is this character good? I have this way of doing X thing. And if it works, it works. But I highly suggest if you are struggling in any part of the game, you're going to see why I used X character for X thing. Okay, so now go ahead and clear up to that. I will meet you back here whenever you are done with part 1-10. Okay, so once you have finished this stage 1-10, you're going to have like all these cutscenes and stuff. You can skip it or watch it. If it's first time playing, probably want to watch it. So then from here, we're going to go back to the main area, and there is the next important thing for new accounts. So I am going to give an option here, and you will have to decide which one you want to do. Okay, so it is the Moonlight Blessing. There are 2 Moonlight Blessings currently in the game as of the point of making this guide, where you get 2 Moonlight 5 stars for free. And Moonlight 5 stars are, again, the super strong characters, so they're like elementalists, kind of to an extent, characters they can't miss on their attack. So there's elemental advantage. There's a lot of mechanics in this game that I will teach as we go along. But once you get out of here, that will be down here at the side. So, and once you get past this, you're going to have the new characters that are out. So we have the new Shuri. He's actually really strong, but I don't have him on my main account yet, so I have not got to play around with them. So from here, you are going to go in and claim all these missions. Again, you want to just keep focusing these missions as you're going along the best you can. And now it's select a character from Moonlight Blessing. So this is going to be one of the free ML 5 stars you get. So currently in the game, the best character for going through PvE and getting your account stabilized and everything is still Spectre Tenebria. This character is super good. She's not as good in PvP, at least in terms of RTA. She's still pretty good in Guild Wars paired with Destina. So you would take like a tank Destina plus her, which we'll go over later as well. But she is still good for that. Now, the overall best character is going to be Arbiter Vildred. He's okay for going through story, but once you get to chapter 3, he starts dying a lot, and it is very hard. I've played through with both characters in the last like month and a half, and I didn't like going through the game with Arby, but Arbiter Vildred is very, very good for PvP. He is very good for PvP. So if your goal of the game is for PvP, you might want to take Arby, but I'm going to take Spectre Tenebria for the guide. Now, in terms of these other characters, I will have a video going over the strengths and weaknesses of each of them and which one, what all they would be good for. So maybe you already have one of these. Maybe you need to like consult that video as to what is the second best pick you could do. But the number 1 and 2 are Arby and Spectre Tenebria. Now, with taking Spectre Tenebria, there is the option. You do have one free change. Okay, so if you go into this, you're going to have these missions that you have to complete in order to unlock the character fully, to where you can use them in all kinds of content and fully upgrade them. It says what you need to do and then what you can do after you do it. So to promote her to 6-star, you have to reach level 60 with 2 characters. So with this, if you go through all of the game with Spectre Tenebria and then decide you do want Arbiter Vildred, you can click Reset Moonlight Blessing, and you can do this one time. So do not click this randomly. You only get one of these. Once you do it once, you cannot reset it again. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel because we may end up changing her for Arbiter Vildred. But going through the game with her is super, super easy. The reason for that is she does insane damage, and there is poison in the game. So poisons, if you played any other gacha games, they do HP-based damage. And HP-based damage is very, very strong, and especially in this game. There's very few characters that do it at least well, and she is, again, the elementalist type, so she can land on any kind of enemy you're fighting. She also gives herself extra defense and attack when things die, so she hits super hard. She's very, very good. Okay, so that is what we're going through the game with, but Arbiter Vildred is a good substitute, and if you want to min-max, you can switch at a certain point whenever you want that character. So now we are going to go ahead and go and do a few more missions here. So we have equip a character with an artifact. So in terms of our artifacts, just put whatever. I'm going to pretend I didn't get the 5-star artifacts just This one isn't even that great anyway, but just it doesn't matter which artifact you put on for now. We are going to end up changing all of this within your account. Will look pretty stabilized after about 3 days of following the guide, or 3 parts of the guide. It might take you a week, but just put whichever artifact on. This one increases attack, and then we have to increase or upgrade an artifact. I believe what's the next mission? I don't know. Actually, let's go out of here. Yeah, it's enhance an artifact one time, but this gives you the artifact enhancements. So artifact enhancements are very rare. Use the bare minimum possible at all times that you can. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade the one that's equipped, this one, and only use one. Actually, what I'm going to do, if you have another 3-star artifact, you can just feed it into it, except for Daydream Joker, or you could just use the charm. But artifacts are very, very hard to upgrade. They're one of the probably hardest things to upgrade in the game. Okay, so now that we're to this point, it wants us to explore Labyrinth. So with exploring Labyrinth, you can just go in. This is a pretty big part of the game, especially for new accounts, in terms of getting your account like progressed, because right side gear charms are the second hardest thing to get in the game. So you have artifact charms. Those are very, very annoying because as you upgrade artifacts closer to level 30, they take a ton of charms. And then next up is the right side charms. So your necklace and ring charms, very, very hard to get the charms for that. And this is where you get them, is just by doing your Labyrinth every day. This is a big portion of them. So now that we got Spectre Tibra, let's go ahead and put her on our team though. If you picked RB or whichever you picked, just go ahead and put them on. Like I said, you don't have to follow exactly, but I highly suggest you do, or else you might get stuck at a certain point. And then you just auto through this. So the way this works is every square you move on this map is going to be 1 morale. You have your morale counter right here. So you want to burn that down as far as possible. Usually you will go down to about -30. Once you get past -30, as you see here, you lose 50% of your attack, HP, defense, and speed. So going past -30 is you don't have enough stat to kill anything and you will die. You do get 1 free death per run, so if you do end up dying, you don't have to reset. There's a button that you can reset. It'll respawn you, and then you just teleport and leave the area. So what I want you to do from right here is just go through, burn your stamina down, and then you usually want to aim for these chests. So just burn your morale. Burn your morale down. Okay, down to as far as you can, and then I will come back before you leave this area. I want to show you what to do, because if you don't do it this specific way, you have to go back in and do it again. So there will be a couple things I'll talk about, but I'll be back once we have burned this down. Okay, so once you get to this, so there anything important in the guide, I'm going to tell you right now. I will cover it multiple times, so don't feel like you have to absorb all this information as we're going along the first time. Some of it maybe you want to listen, but don't worry, if something's important I will probably talk about it again, or I'll have an individual video specifically for that. But right here, this is called the lab shop. So with the lab shop, you are going to want to come in every single day, and you're going to want to buy any charms that are in here, and then there's also bookmarks. So if you ever see bookmarks, you want to buy those as well. But I didn't collect my gold out of my mailbox right away, so I cannot do that. And also, now that we're to this point, maybe you farmed a little bit further. If you went past him, you can come back. But whenever you are in Labyrinth, you can go ahead and click the camp icon down under my face cam. There's a green glowing camp icon. You want to do this every single time you are in Labyrinth. So this is called camping. They made a change to this recently, that the minimum amount of morale you can get bonus from this is going to be 15, which is super, super nice, because early game it is hard to get any kind of good morale team. So this makes it to where you can go further every single entry that you do. It doesn't matter which you do for this team, just make sure it has at least 1 up arrow. If it doesn't have any up arrows, you'll get 0. But past that, as long as it has 1, it'll readjust it to 15 morale. So now if maybe you already burnt all of it, go ahead and go back through the path you've come through to go to that shop if you haven't yet. But if you have already done everything, do that camp and then go as far as it'll let you. And then from there, I want you to teleport from the bottom area. Okay, so this is going to be really important. You want to teleport down from area to the training ground, where it says this. Anytime you are doing Labyrinth, you always want to make sure you leave where it says something down there, because if you don't, then you have to go back through and you have to redo it and then leave from that point to open up the next portion of Labyrinth. That is one thing that I don't know how they haven't changed in 6 years. There's a lot of stuff like that, but they have made some good changes. So we'll focus on the good stuff, but that one is annoying. So I will meet you back here. I will come back whenever we're about to leave the area. All right, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now we've gotten to this point. Again, I want you to teleport down. So to teleport, you open up the map up on the upper left-hand corner. You just click on it, and then you'll go down and you'll teleport down here. and you will leave through this area. By leaving through this area, we will unlock the next area. If you don't do that, you're going to have to go in again, just clear, again, use all your morale, but maybe clear a different path, because 100%ing it is always really nice. And with this, you can go ahead and just sell all of the items in here. All of this is going to be useless. We will have plenty of other stuff that will come. All the beginning gear is pretty much garbage, so if you sell anything early on, you're going to be fine. So from here, we go ahead and we'll claim this. And the next thing is go back to the path. If you're ever curious what to do, always come back here. It says to spend 40 ancient coins. So to spend 40 ancient coins, we'll go ahead and grab these coins, and then have this take us to where we need to go. And from here, any of these charms is what you're going to buy. You're not going to buy any level 22 to 60 accessory chests. Those are terrible. You are going to buy these. So it doesn't matter which one you buy. It's the same value as you look at the price, 40 to 120. 3 white charms equals 1 purple charm of all types. So that is the charm conversion, and 3 purples, I believe, equals 1 red as well. So anytime you're looking at charms and buying them, that is the conversion between them. No matter what, they're always even value. So just go ahead and buy one of whatever one. It doesn't matter. And once you buy that, that mission will be done. Now we have to enhance an equipment to +6. So with the enhanced equipment to +6, let's go ahead and go into our characters. For my character gearing, I always go out here, and then I click hero down at the bottom left. And then we go to hero. And then we will go ahead and switch this, since it is free gear removal. We'll put this HP piece on. And then for the chest, we'll put this HP piece on. And then this, we'll put this HP piece on. And now we need to upgrade something to +6. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the helmet. It doesn't matter what you upgrade or at the beginning. Just have to upgrade something. This will all end up being junk gear. We'll sell it all. So from here, I am going to go ahead and claim this 1,000,000 gold, because that's kind of important. In terms of your stamina, you don't want to be too far over stamina cap, but the first few days you always will be. But if you want to leave all your extra stamina in here, you can. That way, whenever you need it, you pull it out. But if it's ever going to expire, if you look, you have a timer on here. So with this timer, you want to make sure you grab it before it goes away. So from here, now that we did that, we'll go out of this, and we'll see what the next thing is. It is going to be clear stage 2-4. So with clearing stage 2-4, you do have the option, since it is for your gear removal. I'll talk about sets a little bit. Sets aren't that important. As you get a little bit further into the game, you will kind of mix and match your sets. It's all about the skills that the piece of gear has. But if you look here, if you have 2 pieces, you get a health increase by 20%. That's pretty nice. So with this early gear, it's not bad to go ahead and do it. So like this is attack set. If you look at attack set, you have to have 4 pieces of it. It's 0 out of 4, but it gives a 45% attack boost. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw this on Spectre Tibria, because she is our main damage dealer right now. And then that's all we need to do. We don't need to upgrade any of this gear, because it'll all get sold anyway. And then from here, we're going to go ahead, and if you go to reputation, you can claim all these rewards. You want to try to make sure you finish your dailies every day. This is where you get a lot of your sky stones for summoning, and you get some bookmarks in here as well for getting characters. There's a bunch of different missions I'll talk about as we go along that you can do that'll get you the most value out of all those missions. Now, with your resources, do not spend your resources, okay? Whenever you get into the game, your Skystone should sit here until there's a character that is worth summoning on. If you do not know why you're pulling a character and haven't done the research for it, don't pull the character unless you have a ton of extra resources and you like it. So Epic 7 does have a pity system. If you look here, you have to do 120 summons, and then, well, you have to do 121. After 120, you will be at pity, and your next summon will guaranteed be the character on banner. So that is the case for all banners except mystics but these reset. So if you don't get the character and the banner goes away, then it will be gone, right? So your pity will not carry over. You will have to do another 120 summons to guarantee the next character. So you always want to make sure you have 605 bookmarks, or so many bookmarks and sky stones before you summon on a character, because anytime you summon on a character and don't get it, you just wasted resources. And you don't need every character in this game. You can skip a character or 2. That is a very important thing. Only summon when you can guarantee to get the character, or else you are very likely going to be disappointed you didn't get them. Okay, with this, that's the only character you can get on the banner. You can, if you get a 5-star character, it will be the banner character, which is nice. You won't get some random 5-star. At the beginning of the game, that's how it was. But now it is going to, if you get a character, it's him, and you have the ability to pity them and get them for sure. Next up, we have the Mystic Summon. Mystic Summons, where you get the really good PvP characters. With the Mystic Summons, the pity does carry over. So if you did 50 summons here, you see we have 200. Next rotation of characters, whenever this rotates to the next set of character, this will continue over. So with Mystic Summons, I usually tell people as new players, as long as there's a good character on the banner rotation, go ahead and summon. And then if you get the character, cool. If you don't, your pity carries over. It's not a big deal. This rotation, there isn't really any good characters, and we're about to get a character called Emma Hua Young, which looks really good. So if anything, I would save your resource, just save everything to the best of your ability, and you'll see in the guide or in the streams. Also, one thing I didn't talk about yet is we have a Discord server. It's very big. It's the biggest E7 Discord server outside the official one. So if any of you guys would like to join that, you can get help from all people who have followed my guides in the past. They're going to have, a lot of them probably have a lot of the same questions you had whenever they were going through, so they'll be able to answer them for you right away. It's the best way to get instant feedback on what you're doing. Now you can ask questions like, are any of these characters worth pulling on? Any of these banners worth pulling on? People will tell you. And then that way you will make more educated decisions. One thing with Epic 7 is the more you research, the better results you're going to get. It's just, you got to put the time in, and once you put the time in, you'll be happy. But that is how the normal summons work between these two banners. Okay, I'll go over that again probably at some point, but that is just base knowledge for you to have going forward. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and go to stage 2-4, and we're going to push through this a little bit. So now in here, we're going to take all of our characters that we already have, and I want you to get to stage 2-4. Once you get there, just go through the story, read the story, skip the story, whatever you want to do. I'll meet you back once you are to that next milestone. Okay, so once you clear stage 2-4, you're going to come out, and as you, maybe some of you already came out and did this, but we are going to have the character Free Spiriteria. She's going to be one of the hard carry characters to go through the game with. So to get to her, if you look down at the bottom at the hero section under my face cam, you can click it, you go to recruit, and then click on Free Spiriteria, and you can receive her right away. This is a character that will kind of carry you through the first 2 chapters of the game. Past that is going to be Spectrus Tenebria doing most of the carrying, but she is very, very good, and the reason she is super good, again, she is light element, meaning she can't miss. She gets just basic damage on every single type of thing you could fight. And then from there, she has an AoE attack. She's really good for farming. She's going to be very important for your account. So I highly suggest going in and messing with her right away. Now, with her, she has her own set of missions. Okay, so with her own set, I guess I didn't clear stage 2-4. I guess I did 2-3. Okay, but with this, you are going to go ahead and follow this. So this gives you 2 penguins. Penguins are how you level up characters in Epic 7. So going here, we go ahead and click on her, and we need to get her to level 20. So we'll feed 2 penguins and boost her up to level 22. It pretty much gives you everything you need for the first little bit to upgrade her, and then we'll get stuck on the awakening section. So now we have to awaken her, but the problem is we cannot awaken her until we clear stage 1 2-10. So we're going to work toward that, but if you go back to your aspiring adventures, we need to clear 2-4, 2-8, 2-9, enhance 2 pieces of equipment. So I want you to do these along the way as well. Okay, so go ahead and just use this team, except put Free Spiriteria in, because now she's level 20. You want to put her in over your Mercedes. Mercedes we will likely use for other content later. We will use a lot of the free characters the game gives you. The game gives you some of the best PvE, or actually the best PvE characters in the game for free. So with those we will work toward. Those we'll get probably after the first one after a couple days, the other one after maybe a week or so. But once you get those characters, all your PvE stuff will be pretty much stabilized. But this will be the team pretty much going through almost all the game. The only thing you'll do is switch out your Tieria eventually for clearing story. She will still be like a farmer for you, but then Raz will switch out for the free character Brieg, which we will also get for free. And he's a 5-star, and he's a super character. I cannot believe they give him off for free. It's amazing. It is a lot of work to get him, though. Okay, so now that we are to this point, I want you guys to go ahead, clear through stage 2, and go beat all these quests. I cleared 2-2, wasn't even close. But go ahead and beat all of this all the way up to 2-9, and I'll meet you back here once you have finished 2-10. Okay, so now once you've cleared stage 2-10, the guide will get faster. Okay, this first little bit, there's obviously a lot to cover, and then from there, it gets quite a bit quicker. So from here, let's go ahead out. This free character Yuna is not very good. Those you guys are like, oh, free 5-star? She's in the recruit section. She's not very good. You will end up just getting her, but you probably won't use her unless you just really like her. One cool thing about Epic 7 is if there's a character you like, you could probably find a use case for them. Some people tell you they're bad, obviously, and they probably are, but it's a game that If you like a character, you could probably use it. Okay, so next mission is, I think it was upgrade 2 pieces to +6. So once you do that, it'll finish that set of quests. So I want you to do that. And then right here, it wants you to awaken free spiriteria. So awakening in this game, there are spirit altars, and this gives you a ton of extra stats, and it gives you an additional ability on your skill at 3-star awaken. So it's super important to always at least get to 3-star awaken on all your characters as fast as possible. And then once you're in game, it's unbelievably easy to do all this stuff. So early game, it'll feel like a grind, but as your account gets stabilized, all of this stuff just becomes, it takes a while, but it just becomes like, it's just done. Whenever you pull a character, you have enough to 6-star them, fully awaken them. You might have to farm for 10 minutes, but it's very, very easy. Okay, so now we have to equip free spiriteria with the gear set. So the gear set just gave us, let's go ahead and go throw that on. And then from here, we're not going to upgrade it all. We're just going to leave it how it is. And it's actually terrible gear. That's crazy. It's random how that gear turns out, but it's pretty bad. Okay, next up, we need to equip her with an artifact. So it gives you an artifact, which is her flower shower artifact. It's actually pretty good on her. So put that on. And then the next thing is we need to reach level 30 with her. This is usually another gate kept portion. So with getting to level 30, we won't have the penguins to do so. And this is where we progress further into the game. So if you go to level up, we're out of penguins. So from here, I want you to do a couple things real quick. Is go in and I want you to, this is the sanctuary. So the sanctuary, you are going to first up just come in and improve your building, and this is free. The first one's free. And this is where you get a decent amount of your free sky stones. So this isn't like high priority. So we have our 2 breath of warpses. We're actually going to save these for now, because we are going to first priority is upgrading the Forge of Souls if you want to progress your account quickly. So from here, now you are going to go in and look at your other list of challenges. So we're going to claim this, and then once you claim this is a free 10 summons for 1 day. So you get 10 free summons on your account right away. They actually changed that. I don't remember that being 10 free summons on the first batch. So just come in here, rip your summons, all the characters you get. If you get anything good, cool. If you don't, it is what it is. So I got all 3 stars, and I got Furious. So Furious is a character we're going to be using, but he is free. So that's just an extra duplicate. So whenever you have all these characters, it is important that you save 1 of each copy no matter what. So if you go into your hero right here, we're at 38 out of 50. One thing I want you to do right away is just go ahead and upgrade this 25 slots. You'll spend 100 sky stones, but you have to spend these sky stones eventually. Might as well start doing it now. Now with your characters, whenever you have duplicate characters, you want to save 1 of each character. And then you want to feed the duplicate characters into each other. Whenever you get to your 4-star and 5 stars, there are multiple versions of each character. So Spectre Tenebria is the Moonlight version of Tenebria. There's also Fairy Tale Tenebria. So when you pull 5 stars, you need to be careful about what you are feeding them into for the imprints. But we'll go ahead and go over that real quick. So usually what I do is go in and lock 1 copy of each character. It's just the safest thing you can do. That way you don't accidentally get rid of them, because you never know when a character is going to be super strong. So once you get all of your characters locked, then you're going to go in, and so I won't do all that right now. But if you have a character with a duplicate, so we're going to go ahead and lock him, and we're going to go to memory imprint. This is the way you get a ton of free bookmarks at the beginning of the game too. So we're going to go ahead and feed him into the Ruzid. This gives us spirit blooms, which are used for 6-starring and 5-starring characters. And it also, once you get so many triple S characters, so that's the max they can go to, they get a stat boost. So with a stat boost, it's either for your team or for himself. So with this, a speed imprint is usually always good. But he's a 3-star, we want to end up using him. But most of the 3 stars, you just want to make sure you get their imprints up to get bookmarks. But you have to get these items to unlock their self imprint. We'll go over all that later, but you want to go ahead and keep your inventory as clean as possible. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and memory imprint this one as well. And your goal is to get as many triple S characters as you can, because it ends up being like a full 5 or 6 or 5-star pity that you can get. So 1 free 5-star character almost, for just feeding all your dupes into each other. Okay, so now that that is done, you are going to have all these little 2-star characters. The use for these 2-star characters is if you go to Hero Transmission right here, then click select all 2 stars, you just sell them. Okay, this is now with the game being the way that it is to make 6 stars. You used to have to upgrade those characters and promote them to 6-star characters. Now you just use stigma. So when you sell them, you're getting the stigma used for 6-starring your characters, as well as some gold, and it cleans up your inventory. But either way from here, the biggest thing is make sure you save 1 of each of the characters as you're going, and feed dupes into each other. So duplicate characters go into each other for imprints. Okay, I don't want you guys to go in and wonder which character should I keep. You keep one of everything, and you will keep upgrading your inventory. There are like 300 characters in the game. You won't get them all right away. This will get filled up. You'll probably get this up to about 150, but only upgrade this as you need it. That's one of the big things with Epic 7. Don't spend your resources until you need it. That one I just had you guys do because you're going to need it within like a day. Okay, so from here, we need to go back to our list of missions, and we're going to have we're going to get this free gear set, and then we're going to have clear stage or floor 3 in Abyss. So they also have changed Abyss. Abyss is a content that gives some actually really good rewards. Give me 1 second. It gives some really good rewards. Let's go to our Raz, that gear set we just got. Let's just go ahead and put it on a Raz. Okay, so equip this and just go put all that gear that we just got on him. It'll give him some more survivability, and we'll be good to go. So put that, and if you want to put an artifact on him, you can. In terms of the 3-star artifacts, most of them are pretty useless, so just put that on. That's fine. And then from here, now that all of our characters kind of have some gear on, it's not great gear, but our 4 main core roster characters are good. We can go ahead and enhance this if you want. Just don't put a lot into it. So if you want to go to maybe +3, you can on some of the gear, but I personally wouldn't upgrade any of this right now. Charms are very hard to get later, so the more you kind of hold off on using your stuff, the better. So what I was talking about with awakenings, that is going to be your altars. Okay, this is where you farm to awaken your characters, and your characters have to be a certain level in order to be awakened. We won't touch on this too much yet, but the next thing that it wants us to do is Abyss. So with Abyss, if you come into here and look, Abyss used to have, you could only do 3 entries per day, and you could trade in to maybe do 5. But now it just costs stamina. So what we're going to do is clear down. If you look here, you get some bookmarks from it, get some sky stones from it, and as you get further down, the rewards get very, very good. In terms of this gear right here, we're gonna end up just selling it, but you get some really good rewards overall, and that'll be something we'll push to floor 100, and then I will give you some guides from another creator to get you up further as you get there. But for here, I just want you to go in and clear to Abyss floor 10. So just go in, click this until you're to Abyss 10, and then from there, we'll meet back after you have done that. All right, so once you guys have cleared Abyss stage 10, we are going to go ahead, back out. We're going to clear the challenge that we've gotten here. And then it wants us to use a penguin one time. So earlier I was talking about penguins are the way you level up your characters. So with the penguins, we're going to go ahead and level up our Tyria because we need to get her to level 30 for the next challenge of her list of challenges. And once you feed those penguins in, you should be there. If you're not, you might need to do one more stage, which is fine. The next thing we need to do is clear stage 3 to an adventure, but we're also going to clear some of these missions over on Tyria. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to awaken her to 3-star, and then from here, that'll be the next challenge. We just continue to follow these missions, and once our Tyria is built up a little bit more, we're going to end up getting an actual pretty solid gear set, at least for starting, and we'll end up putting it on her. So those of you guys earlier that have been following, I talked about the memory imprint. So we fed duplicate characters into each other, and that's what this is right here. So we'll feed the 2 Tyrias into her. That'll complete that challenge, and it's going to give us the resource that allows you to change the imprint. So feeding duplicate characters into each other allows you to change the imprint and get an imprint. So this gives us up to 8.4% HP for the entire team. As you see here, each of these slots is for your team. And then whenever you have these things here, you can create or make it to where it has a self imprint. That way it's giving this ability to just this character. Most characters in the game will be using self imprints, with a few exceptions. Speed imprints, you usually will always take the speed imprint on those characters, but almost all other characters, you'll end up self-imprinting them. So you'll see more of that as you go through the game as to why you do that. All right, so now we need to limit break the artifacts. So artifacts, the way that artifacts will work is whenever you feed a duplicate artifact into another artifact, it limit breaks it. So right now, a base artifact can only go to +15. Whenever you limit break an artifact 5 times, it could go to +30. And with that, it just is going to increase the overall stats it gives by leveling it up more, and then it increases the effect that it does by a certain amount dependent upon the artifact. So by doing this, by putting 1 duplicate into this artifact can now go up to level 18, and then another one and go up to level 21, then 24, 27, 30. Okay, so that is how artifacts work in the game. And then once you do that, now we need to reach level 40. Whenever you get these extra duplicate artifacts, with this artifact, you can go ahead and just feed all of them into each other. In terms of artifacts, you also, any 5-star artifact, you want to save one of each. 4-star artifacts, you want to save one of each generally as well. And there's going to be some 4-star artifacts that you want to have multiple of. We will go over that later. But for right now, just kind of hold on to everything until we get to a point where you understand more of what kind of artifacts you're getting rid of. Okay, so now that we're to this point, we need to reach level 40 with Free Spiriteria, and we need to clear 3-2 in Adventure. So I'm going to go clear 3-2, and then we're going to come back and talk about Arena. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this, and I will meet you back once I have finished 3-2. Okay, so now that you've finished 3-2, it's going to open up Arena. So we'll go over Arena real quick. With Arena, this is kind of one of the PvP types in the game. I consider PvE because you're fighting AI. It's not the opponent making a decision, but go ahead and go into Arena, and then it'll give you a story. It's actually one of the cooler stories in the game, if not the coolest story in the game. So from here, it's going to have you set a defense team. So with setting the defense team, we're just going to go ahead and put any 4 characters on. For right now, your defense team is not going to matter for a pretty long time. So just throw everything you want on there. We probably won't come and retouch this for a couple of weeks. So once you're here, then it wants you to do so many battles. So arena battles, you have the ability to quick battle. 10 fights per day, and that just goes in and autos the fight for you. So that's all it takes. Bang, it's done. You get 10 of these. So those 10 a day, make sure to use them. And with Arena, whenever you're climbing, we're just going to use our story team probably all the way up to Challenger. And then from there, we're going to have to build actual teams. But with Arena, as you go through and continually do fights, you are going to rank up. And as you rank up, you get Sky Stones for first time clear. Getting into ranks for the first time. So you go to the league info. If you look here, we're at the very, very bottom. Every time you rank up, you're going to be getting 60 Sky Stones. Once you get to silver, you'll get 120 per rank up. And then at the end of the week, you get Sky Stones dependent upon your rank. This is where most of your Sky Stones come from in Epic 7, unless you spend money. So this is very, very important to do. You want to make sure to always be doing your arena attacks as a newer player. At any time you have flags, the way flags work is that they regenerate 1 per hour. So with 1 per hour, just try to use them as much as you can. And the biggest thing is just make sure you do these quick battles. These quick battles are going to help you out a ton just in terms of getting it done faster, because Arena, at first it'll be fun as you're learning the game, but then it becomes a chore is the issue. Now, with on top of the 1 you get per hour for the regeneration of your flags, you can also click this, and once per day you can buy 5 additional flags. So you can buy the 5 flags from there. Make sure you use those. You don't have to use them yet, depending on how much you're going to play today, because there are more challenges to do Arena. Okay, so that's it for Arena right now. We'll touch more on it later, but now we're going to continue to go in and complete some missions. So what I want you to do now is go clear 3-3, and then we're going to talk about Spirit Altar, and I will be back once you have cleared 3-3. Okay, now that you have cleared stage 3-3, we're going to go ahead and do one of the Spirit Altars. So again, earlier I told you with the Awakenings, whenever you awaken a character, they get bonus stats. So we're going to go ahead, we always awaken anything that we're using, and you can farm as however much awakening as you want. There's no limit on it. It's just every single day a different one is open. As a new player, they'll all be open at the start, but as you see, they take more resources and higher ones as you go, but always the 3-star Ascension is the most value you can get. So this Destina amount recovered, you can see it increases the skill to where this revives your dead allies. So every time you get a 3rd awakening on any character, it's going to give them additional skills to whatever they're doing. So again, another example is Spectre Cerebria. So Spectre Cerebria will do her first awakening, and then on her skill 3, you will see that whenever you come in, it goes from this into getting additional a damage to the number of debuffs on the enemy that doesn't have that beforehand. So every skill is going to get some kind of upgrade on the 3rd awakening, and the overall stats that you get for that are very, very important. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do a Spirit Altar. It doesn't matter which one you do. You kind of need to do all of them, obviously. So the first up, let's just do Dark, I guess, since we do have Spectre Cerebria, or if you're using Arbiter Villager, you'll need Dark anyway. So just run this, beat this difficulty, and beat the next difficulty. So beat normal or easy and normal. After you've done those 2 difficulties, meet me back here. Okay, once you have beaten those 2 difficulties, we're going to go back to the lobby, and whenever you finish different missions, you're going to have your reputation. It's under my face cam, but we have 12 different reputation things done right now. So we're going to go ahead and claim anything that you see. Just go ahead and grab it right away. Just don't spend your resources. Save your Skystones, save your summons for now, and I will tell you what are the better things to summon on, so that way you're not summoning on a bunch of characters you're not going to use. So whenever you do all that, one big thing is with your awakenings, your characters have to be to a certain level. So in order to do the 2nd awakening, you need to be level 20. In order to do the 3rd awakening, you need to be level 30 on the character. So even if we had the resources right now, we could not do the awakenings. You can awaken Raz though, because this only takes level, I think you can do this at level 1 actually, the first one. It might be level 10, but the first one I think might break the rule, but the rest of them you need to be equivalent level to do the awakening. But now that we are finished with this, we'll go back to the missions, and now we need to enhance a piece of equipment 4 times. So with enhancing a piece of equipment 4 times, let's just go ahead and go into Tyria's sword, and then we are going to use any powder that you have so far, and then you are going to just do 4 different upgrades. So that should be 3 because we use 2 powders, and we do 1 more, and there we go. That is finished. Now with your inventory, go ahead and go into your inventory, and you have the ability to auto sell pieces. If you go into a range, you can click auto sell or auto select, but you have to click this gear first. With this gear, you can go ahead and click everything, and you can sell anything below a certain tier. I want you guys to have it tier 29 to 42 and 1 to 28. And then if you click auto select, it'll grab everything. It won't grab any of the epic pieces. But honestly, everything at the beginning of the game, you're going to just sell it. So I'm going to go ahead and sell everything just to keep my inventory clean. The cleaner you keep your inventory, the easier Epic 7 is to manage. So I want to try to teach you guys gearing along the way just to keep your account cleaned up. Now, we are to a point where we need to clear more story. So I want you to go clear all the way to 4-1 in the story. Okay, so with what you have now, you'll be able to beat it all without any problems. So this stage right here, you'll have to go in multiple times, and you will have to talk to people at the end. Once you can't walk anymore, you talk to whoever's there, and then from there, the rest of the missions are pretty easy. But you'll have to enter this area right here 3 times. And as you talk to them, it'll open up a new path. Once you're done with that, I'll meet you back here after you clear stage 4-1. If you have any problems, again, we have the Discord server. If you get stuck somewhere, you can go into there and ask, what do I do next? Someone will help you out, and you should be good to go. But I will see you once you get to stage 4-1. Okay, so now that you have cleared stage 4-1, hopefully you guys didn't get stuck anywhere, have any problems. Whenever you complete chapters, you're going to be getting these rewards. I haven't talked about this yet. Usually I just stockpile them up until later. But whenever you claim all these rewards, you're going to see your Skystone and all your resources getting higher and higher. Do not spend them, please. If you're following along my guides, I want to teach you how to spend your resources properly, and we will get into all of that. Just be patient. Yes, you're going to have some summons. Yes, you're going to have other things. You do not need to spend them yet. Okay, the longer you wait to spend them and spend them smartly, the better off you're going to be. So as you complete each chapter, you're also going to have these down here. So you're going to be looking at a decent little stack of bookmarks that you're probably going to want to spend. But if you do not know what to spend your resources on yet, you don't know what character's good, do not just go in and spend them. Okay, so please just hold off on spending. Anytime you guys run out of stamina as well, you can grab your stamina from your mailbox, and you also will have leafs. So leafs are a way to get 80 stamina per one. The only place to use leafs is going to be for stamina. So use your leaves. If you run out of stamina, it's fine. The further you progress your account as a new player, the better off you're going to be. So getting your account stabilized early is always worth spending a little bit of skies, because you can also spend sky stones for stamina. Sky stones for stamina will give you 60. Okay, that is very good value at the beginning of the game while you're getting yourself set up. So if you do run out of stamina, feel free to use either resource. I just always set a limit. As a new player, you're going to be getting about 30,000 free sky stones, which sounds like an insane number, and it is quite a bit, but you will go through it pretty quickly. So that's why I'm saying try not to spend unless you know what you're doing. But with the sky stones for stamina, you won't have to worry about those for a few days at least. But if you do spend it, I always set a limit for myself. I never go below around 10,000 sky stones. The reason for that is it takes 12,000 sky stones for a pity on a character. So we'll talk about that more, but for right now, just know if you do need to go in and get yourself some more stamina, you can. Okay, so the next thing is we need to increase or upgrade a piece of gear to +9. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. So whenever you feed charms into your gear, it doesn't really matter how you do it. The charm dust that you're seeing at the top that I use first, that is coming from selling gear. When you sell gear, you get charm dust. So anytime you sell a piece of equipment, you are going to be, if you see here, we'll auto select. And honestly, this gear is just trash. It's not worth keeping. So we're just going to go ahead and sell. You can hold on to it if you want, but all of this we're going to end up selling. So if you sell, you see we get this dust here. That is used for upgrading your other piece of equipment. Okay, so now we need to raise a penguin in the Forest of Souls. So in the Forest of Souls, I was showing you guys earlier with the Breath of Orbis, you have your Heart of Orbis is going to give you some Sky Stones. We will upgrade that later. But this right here is going to be the most important thing for new players. So if you go down to the bottom left under my face cam, it says Improved Building. So with this, you want to upgrade this to 313. And also, do not feel like you can mess this up because you can always reset it. So if you do have already done other things, you can reset it. I will give you... Overall, you don't get enough Breath of Orbis to fully upgrade everything. So I have a video already up that you could find, or I'll add it into this guide series of what to spend all your Breath of Orbises on once we get to a point where you have more Breath of Orbis. But the first thing I always end up doing is I upgrade the left and the right. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the left one twice and the right one once with our Breath of Orbis. And our overall goal is to get this, as you see here, it's 2 out of 3. We want this to be 313. That is the best value that you can get from the Forest of Souls. The middle one just makes it to where you get daily ones, and that is nowhere near the same value as putting your Breath of Orbis elsewhere. That's not that much. Getting a little bit extra per day is not really worth it compared to saving on everything that you spend within the game of your in-game resources. So that is the first thing we're going to do, and then we have to grow a penguin. So to grow a penguin, you need to click here on the growth altar, and you just go ahead and I'm going to do, let's just do a single penguin for now. You could do 10 penguin, but we'll hold off and just spend resources as we have to. Okay, so now that we did one penguin, all we're going to do is go ahead and clear stage 4-4, and then we're going to explore Labyrinth. We're getting close to the end of this video. Normally, I go all the way to the end of the first chapter in the first video, but I'm going to break it up a little bit more this time and not cover quite so much per video. So the videos, I think the first episode was like 2 hours. This one's probably already close to an hour at this point. So I'm going to break it down, and just so there's not too much information in one single video. The first couple episodes are always the longest, and they'll get shorter as we go. But there is a lot to do, a lot to explain, obviously, in the first couple days of playing. But now go clear to stage 4-4, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so now we're pretty much to 4-4. It's a story that you have to read, but this is going to be your urgent mission. So urgent missions are going to pop up. They're going to give you different things. You always want to go ahead and go and clear these. They'll give you penguins, they'll give you charms, and then it gives you this currency here, Proof of Courage. That is for joining guilds, so we're going to talk about that in a second too. But let's go ahead. I'm going to clear the story real quick just because that's the next mission. And then from there, now we can go out of here and claim the next step. So from right here, let's go ahead and grab all of this. It gives us actually a lab token. These lab tokens refresh 1 per day. So at the beginning, you want to make sure you are spending them as much as possible. So now we're going to go ahead and go into lab. I want you to do 2 entries of lab at this point. Okay, so just take this team in, and I want you just to clear as far as possible. Your overall goal is always getting to where it says area 3 or area 4. You want to get to the next area. So what we're going to be doing is going up toward that. Again, if you have not bought everything from Hoochie in terms of the charms, that is what this little shop guy is called. Make sure you go buy the charms bookmarks. Those are the 2 main things to buy from that. The catalysts aren't terrible to buy if you see those, but make sure you buy at least the charms and bookmarks anytime you see them in Hoochies. It's random whether they pop up or not, but it only is there once per day. So all the Hoochie shops are the same. So whatever, if you're on the first day of playing still, your Hoochie will have the exact same stuff he had last time you went to buy it. But okay, I want you to clear through this, and I want you to use 1 more token after clearing through this one. Again, when you leave this area, you want to leave through this. Also, you have the ability to teleport to any of these areas. So I could spend 3 morale to teleport, and your morale is this. Also, make sure to camp. Okay, so make sure to use your camp to get your morale back. Okay, as you start getting lower on morale, do the camp, you'll get an extra 30. All right, do those 2 things, and I'll meet you back once you've done 2 entries of Labyrinth. Okay, so from this point, you're going to be noticing that your characters are probably dying. You don't need to worry about that. I wanted your characters to die in this portion so you could see one thing. Okay, so now from here, every time you die 1 time in Labyrinth, you will be getting a free reset, and it's going to revive all of your characters. So now all of our characters are back and we're good to go. and that will be for every time you do lab. Every one entry you do, you get 1 free revive. Okay, hopefully you guys didn't back out of if your characters were dying, but you get 1 free revive. We are going to upgrade some gear, but I wanted you guys to know that that existed so that you didn't waste time of going through, and if a character died, you backed out. So this is just a way that you can guaranteed get through a little bit harder stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and beat this now with these 2 characters, and I will meet you back here once we are done. So I'm just going to get to the edge of the last area. Okay, so now we have beaten the second Labyrinth entry token that I wanted you guys to do. So once you get out of this, you'll have all of the stuff. I always just go in and sell it all. But if you wanted to, you could hold on to like a ring or any of the stuff. If you really want to hold on to it, you can for now. But you don't really need it. The game is going to give you free gear that you could use once you get to the certain missions in this here. So the Adventurer's Path. Okay, there's some packs that you could buy. If you guys want me to make a video over what packs are the best value, I could do that. I'm not sure what all new player packs are out right now. You're going to get a 4-star character from this. It's a guaranteed 4-star. You're not going to worry about whatever you get from it. Okay, so now we entered a new batch of missions. So we want to enhance equipment to +9. So we're going to go ahead and go to any piece of equipment that you want and put it up to +9. What I want you guys to actually do is go to the helmet that you have on your Raz. So this, go ahead and enhance it to +6. So you can do the auto enhance if you'd like. It's just a faster way to get things done. And the chest, go ahead and upgrade it to +6 as well. We just need a little bit more survivability on our characters. As you saw there, we did die in that labyrinth stage. So now from this, we're going to go ahead and go to these boots. Let's upgrade these boots to +9. This will be our +9 piece for the mission. And once you are done with that, that will pop up. And now we need to enhance a hero's skill 1 time. So I want you to do with this is go in, skill enhancements, just give more damage to whatever character you put the enhancement on. And we're going to go down to our Raz. So our Raz, we're going to go ahead and skill enhance. 3-star characters do not take Mologora. Mologora is the skill enhancement material. It is very rare. As you get further in the game, you're going to need a bunch of Mologora. If you are playing properly. If you're not playing properly, some people have like 300 on their account, but 300 is only enough to boost up barely 9 to 10 characters, probably 9 characters fully skilled up. So Mologora are very, very important to make sure you always get. But just go ahead and increase the skill 1 here, and that will finish the mission. That way you don't spend a Mologora early. And now the next thing it wants us to do is go to stage 4-10. It also wants us to use a penguin on a hero. So go ahead and do these missions all the way up to enhance artifact to +6, and I will meet you back here. Our goal is we are going to get to the end of stage 5-10. That's halfway through the first story, and that will be this video. And the next video we'll go through and complete the rest, and I'll show you what to work on after that. So the videos should come out pretty quickly once this first video is out, so you guys, as you follow along, the next video should be there by the time you finish whatever last video. Or if you're doing this later in the future, maybe in February of 2025, all the videos will be up, so you'll be good to go. But go ahead and finish all the way up to get to the enhance artifact +6 mission, and I will meet you back here. If whenever you use penguins, use them on your free spirit area, because we need to get her to level 40. Okay, I'll meet you back here in a second. Okay, so now that you have cleared up to stage 4-10, you are needing to use penguins on your free spirits area. Okay, so this is going to give you a batch of these, and it's also going to give you another HP set. So from here, we're going to do a little account work. We're going to go ahead and level up our tier area with our penguins. Just click auto select. You should have enough penguins to boost her all the way up to level 40. Okay, that's going to complete the next batch of missions. So once you have that next batch of missions done, go ahead and claim all of these on your tier area. You cannot do this next one that's clear hunt with free spirit area until we get to a certain point, stage 7-9. But then right here, you're going to have all of these missions that we just completed getting up to higher tiers. And now we need to complete arena battle 3 times and enhance artifact. So let's go ahead and with this, I want you to come to your sanctuary. And I want you to take these 2 Breath of Orbuses that you just got, and I want you to put them in the right side. So your thing should look 2, 1, 3. Okay, the reason we're putting them in the right side is because we're going to have to promote characters soon. And to do that, you have to trade your stigma in for your... You trade the stigma in for your spirit balloons, which will promote your characters. Now, I want you to go ahead and click on the... Sorry, go ahead and do your 3 arena battles. Sorry, brain fart there. Do your 3 arena battles. If you have any quick battles left, just slam them real quick, and I will meet you back here once you have done everything that I've said. Okay, now that you've done those 3 arena battles, I want you to click over here on the events tab above my face cam. It has special events and events. So if you click on the events tab, you're going to have your Archie 7-day growth guide. This is going to be missions that you need to, or you'll just passively complete them. But these give you a ton of rewards. So you guys will be on day 1. I do have an extra day login on this account because I wanted to work ahead on the guide, but I'm not claiming anything past the day 1 stuff. But go ahead in and claim all your day 1 things. You claim this is going to be an EXP boost to help you level up faster. Make sure you grab that. Next, you have the call to adventure missions. Okay, so as you go through, make sure you are claiming these as well. Okay, all of this stuff is for new players. You just get a ton of free resources that's going to help you boost your account faster. Next up, you're going to have your adventure for new heirs mission. And this is going to be, as you complete certain things, you're going to be getting resources from this as well. This is going to be more penguins. This is going to be a bunch of everything that you just get for free. Okay, so once you have claimed all of this stuff, now I want you to go to the special events tab. The special events tab is the new replacement for web events. So with the new PC client coming out, you are going to come in here and claim anything that you can. Okay, and then as you claim those things, you are going to have all these extra rewards that you can get here at the side. So this store is going away in 10 hours. There will be a new event coming up in 10 hours, and this will continually trade off for each player. In terms of what you buy from this, I will make a video over what the best things that you can buy are. But since it is getting close to the end of this timer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy the Leafs first. On this, the highest priority items that you can get are going to be the Mologora. The bookmarks are nice, but I'm going to buy the Leafs just for this account so I can have more stamina to show you guys things. Okay, but the Mologoras are first priority. Second would probably be bookmarks. Third, these are pretty nice for a new account. This is how you get the Moonlight characters. These are okay value. And then from there, the Leafs are always great value. These right side charms are very high value. And then these right side charms are very high value. So the accessory charms. And then from there, it doesn't really matter. You are able to buy this out, but say if you're starting today, you only have so much time. You can either buy leaves, you buy bookmarks, just whatever you're able to accomplish out of all of this. And this changes every week. So depending on what your farm or whatever this is, you're gonna have to farm. Sometimes it's arena battles, sometimes it's just doing stages. It just depends on what week it is. It'll be a different mission. Now, oh geez, they've now. Oh, now that you've done all that, I'm not going to edit that out. You can come in and click the store down at the bottom left. When you click store at the bottom left, every single day you're going to be able to get this pack right here. It gives you 40 stamina and 150,000 gold. And once you claim that, you can go down. And if you go to packs, there are going to be the rank up pack. With the rank up pack, you get these items for free as you reach certain levels, and you can buy the pack to get more skystones. These are actually pretty good value. This is one of the packs I would always say to buy, but this is a bunch of free rewards that you can get just for leveling up your account. If you are going to stay free to play, you can stay free to play in Epic 7. You're going to be fine. Your account's going to look great after a while. But now that we finished that, let's go and continue our missions. Let's grab our 3 arenas. Now we need to enhance an artifact to +6. So with enhancing an artifact to +6, it doesn't matter which one you do. Again, this one's already almost +6, so we're going to upgrade the flower powder. Just put 1 charm into it, and it should be +6, and you're done and good to go. So once that mission is done, we're going to go ahead and grab that. And then now once it's cleared to stage 5-5, and then as you see the next couple of missions, we are going to end on this mission here of clear to stage 5-10. So I'm going to go ahead and clear to stage 5-10, and then I'm going to do one more Labyrinth Entry, and then we have to clear any spirit altar on normal difficulty or higher. So I'm going to do the grass one because I would like to promote awaken my Destina, and that will be all that I do. So I'll come in here, do those things, and I'll meet you back here once you have gotten to the same point. But it is just clearing adventure for 10 more stages, and we're pretty much done for this part of the guide. So I'll meet you back here to wrap up the video. Okay, so now that you have done all 4 of those things, you needed to get to stage 5-10, you need to clear your spirit altar, and then you need to explore Labyrinth. Go ahead and claim all of these different rewards here. You can just click receive reward at the bottom and it'll give you everything. Gives you some more stamina and some charms. So now we're going to do a little account management. The first thing is go up to the left. You have 1 more Breath of Orbis. I want you to put into the Forest of Souls. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and improve this. Now it is at 313. This is done. We don't have to touch this the rest of the time we play the game. Okay, 313. Next up, we're going to go into our High Command. And High Command is pretty important to start as soon as possible. The goal with High Command is set it to 111. Okay, so you need to have 1 Breath of Orbis for the left, 1 Breath of Orbis for the right, and we will worry about getting those later. For right now, if you want, you can just throw in 2 different dispatch missions. You want to complete as many dispatch missions as possible, as fast as you can, but for right now, for today, we're just going to go ahead and throw these in for this part of the guide, and then for the next part, I will show you what the proper thing to set it in there is. 1 hero should be above the required level. So it looks like I need a level 30, so we need to leave that out and throw a res on this side. Okay, that is not going to let me do it. What about this? There we go. Okay, so now we have 2 dispatch missions going. We will change those over once we get that boosted up. But once that is all finished, make sure you go ahead and grab anything from your events. That's always, make sure you grab these. And especially depending on if this is going to end soon, we only have 9 hours left of this. So this, I'll just grab a bookmark because I don't know how much I'll be able to finish this before it resets. Okay, and you also have your event. So make sure you grab anything out of this, the call to adventure, adventure for new heirs. Make sure to grab any of this free stuff that it's trying to give you. Once you have grabbed all of that, you are going to be able to, that's little stories you can watch. All right, so we have missions 2 and 3 here as well. So this is going to give us more stamina here. So as you cut or get Breath of Orbises, you will unlock these missions. So just grab everything you can out of these. And looks like the thing is this PC client's new, so some of the stuff on here is not the most functional. That is one thing that we are noticing, unfortunately. So I have to use my scroll wheel to scroll down. I can't like drag it down. But either way, grab all the stuff from there. Next up, I want you to go into your heroes. And then I want you to change a little bit of gear. So your Destina now, we're going to go ahead and if you click Manage Equipment down at the bottom, it's going to give you a little tutorial. And you can click Cancel. Okay. And then we want to put the HP gear that we've got onto our Destina. So this T41 HP gear that we got from the Adventurer's Path. We throw all of this HP stuff and defense set onto her. And we are going to boost that up a little bit. Next up, let's go to our Free Spirits area. We are going to change this gear really fast. After we put it on, but go ahead and put this T55 set that we got onto her as well, and then you're going to have these 2 pieces. So go ahead and throw those on. We're not going to boost up the ring, but for the sword, go ahead and put it up to at least plus, let's go ahead and put this to +9, and then the other 2 pieces we'll put at +6, and this gear will get moved over, and like it'll get sold really, really fast. So don't upgrade it too much. When you upgrade a piece of gear and sell it, you get less return for it. But this is so cheap to upgrade that it'll give us a little bit of boost for now, and then we'll worry about getting stronger gear on our characters later. This, I'm going to go ahead and put it up to +9 because it's attack percent. So obviously with damage dealers, you want attack percent. So there's that. Then our Destina, we don't need to upgrade the sword. Let's go ahead and put an artifact on her. I'll just put Timeless Anchor, 3-star artifact. The sword usually don't upgrade because as a Soul Weaver, you're not getting any benefit from the flat attack that comes with it. So this, I'm going to go ahead and put this at +9. And then we'll put the chest at +9. Sometimes you'll get a grate that gives you a little bit more EXP. So just go ahead and boost this up. And this will allow you to clear content a lot easier without having to worry about dying all the time. And this will take some of your charms, but we are not going to spend any right side charms. Okay, none of this we will spend. But that is all you need to do for your characters right now. You will have a big upgrade overall. And then if you want to come down here, you can awaken your Raz. You should have enough to get him to 3-star awaken. That will unlock his extra ability on his skill 3. So go ahead and do that. And we have one last thing I'm going to show, and then we're going to wrap up the video, and I'm going to start part 2 right away. So it'll be up by the time you're done watching this. Part 2 should be up there for you to follow along with. So again, any characters you get, just go ahead and feed the duplicates into each other. Lock one of each character. Again, for your 2-star characters come into here, you can just go to select 2-star, transmit them, and that'll keep your inventory clean. But again, any individual character you get, go ahead and lock them. And then that's it. You're going to have a bunch of items in here. Anything that you aren't going to use right away, you can just hold on to it. So like stamina, it's good to just keep in there. These lab tokens, you don't want to be overcapped. As you see, we're at 8 out of 10. But you can grab the stigma. You can grab any of this right here. Save the stamina, grab the gold. And I'm going to go ahead and save all this because some of it's from day 2 login down further. But that is going to be what the account looks like after the first day. If you're curious on the stats, your guys' stats should look the exact same as mine pretty much to an extent. But this is the start that you want. From here, if you want to go in and put the other gear on your Spectre Cerebria, you can. It's not really going to help a whole lot, but it'll help a little bit. So just put that on for now. In terms of this, if you want to put stuff on, there's free gear removal. So crit chance is always good to put on. And then effectiveness, you give her more HP, whatever you want to do will work out for you. So we'll go do that, and then go up to your inventory. The last thing I want you to do, click all, and then I had you set your auto select. Go ahead and sell any of this junk gear that you have within this. So go ahead and sell all this. I'm actually going to put these attack boots right here on Stenny. It looks like I put the wrong ones on. So let's go ahead, and we want to make sure with our damage dealers, we either have speed main stat or attack main stat. So we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. Our characters are a little bit stronger, but this is all we need to do for right now, and we are good to go. So with this, if you want to upgrade the boots to +3, feel free to. Gives you a little bit of extra stat, but try not to upgrade your gear too much. But if you want to play around and learn how everything works, I mean, go ahead and do it. But that is our character. So we have our Destina. She's getting a little bit tinkier. We have our Spectre Tibria. We have our Free Spirit Tyria. And we have our Rats. That is our core team that we're going to continue to use. So I'm going to back out of this. The last thing for the day, which I'm going to cover at the start of the second video, is your guild. You want to join a guild as soon as possible. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a guild here. I'm going to go ahead and found a guild. It is going to be 2025 guide. So this guild will not be up forever. Just know if you join a guild and leave, you have a 24-hour cooldown. Deity guide 2025. Okay, and then no rank limit. I'm going to set it to selective. So if you guys want to apply to the guild, it is 2025 guide will be the guild name. So I'm going to go ahead and found it. And it won't let me because I put a space in there. You're not allowed to put spaces. I always forget that. So 2025 guide. Let's go ahead and found it. All right. So any of you guys that watch this, first come, first serve, whoever applies first, I'll let in. And you guys are free to try to join. And if you don't make it in, I have a Discord server. So again, down in the description and the pinned comment is going to have a Discord server. You can join that. We have like 16, almost 17,000 people in that Discord server. There are tons of guilds. If you guys want to make a guild and recruit people in there, feel free to. It has a guild recruitment section. When you join the Discord, you need to read the rules and click the emote at the bottom of the rules that has like 20,000 reactions to it. Just click that emote and it'll give you access to the server. A lot of people fail to read. That is a big part of why I'm making this guide, because a lot of people fail to read. But feel free to utilize that to get yourself in a guild. Once you're in a guild, you want to always request Wyvern Claws. Never request anything else. Never request these. Never request these. Always Wyvern Claws. Okay? And then with doing this, there is a character called Tamarin. You want to start requesting Wyvern Claws of whatever rarity that you can. And once you request these, you will donate to each other. So it'll have the option to donate. Do not request anything but Wyvern Claws. Also, always donate your gold. These Brave Crests are very important. You need to get as many as possible. And then as you do your missions, and when you're in a guild, you're going to get bonuses, right? You're going to get your bonuses that you have to keep up with. But always donate gold so that the captains can keep up with the bonuses. And then with these, always donate your Proof of Courage. This is the only use case for them. Proof of Courages come from doing your urgent missions. What I was talking about earlier with urgent missions that give penguins and whatnot, you will get these from that. Donate them every single time. That allows your captain to be able to buy boxes. You can get sky stones, mystic metals, all sorts of stuff from this once per week. So it's very, very good. And you can buy extra stamina as long as everyone in the guild is keeping up with everything. And then, but main thing is make sure for aid, request Wyvern Claws, and then go ahead, click Guild War. It's going to take you to defense, or just click auto assign. Just get a team on there. Once you've done that, you're good with the guild. But if you guys need a guild, you can apply to that one, 2025 guide, or join the Discord. Plenty of guilds in there. I'll be honest, most of you are not going to be able to get in this guild. There's only enough room for 16 people at the start. So first come, first serve. If you don't make it in, just go in there. Don't wait to try to get in this guild. Join a guild as fast as possible. Okay, that is it. Thank you for watching part 1 of the guide. Again, Discord link down in the description. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're going to follow along your Epic 7 journey with me, if you're willing to subscribe, that would be great. Other than that, I will see you all in the next part of the guide where we will finish Chapter 1 and show you what to work on from there. Peace out.